Hello everyone, my name is Logan Gross, and I'm making this YouTube video about bullying, and it's called The Bully Files today. And I recently asked people for to send me their stories and stuff, so I could give you guys feedback on like my opinion on it. And like I don't like bullying at all, just saying. And it's just really bad to just do to someone. Alright, so this kid, he sent me this book. Well, not a book, like more of a couple pages long of his story. So I'm going to read that to you guys today. Alright, so he is currently 15, and I'll just read it. I have been bullied for years and it hurts so much. I try to overcome the pain, but I just can't seem to get up when I get knocked down. This is my sad story of pain. I live in the quaint town of, I'm not going to say that, I don't want to give his stuff. I have a bad history with guys because they are the problem in my life, and I will tell you about the story of my bullied life. It all started in grade school when no one wanted to play with me except the girls. My relationship with the girls was strong. I could tell you anything about them. I grew connected to them and they all pulled me in and cared for me. The true bullying happened in 7th grade when the guys were total jerks. I was in high school filled with tons of upperclassmen. I had my group that I hung out with like any other kid, but mine was full of girls, and I was the only guy. There were some 8th grade girls who took me in and we became friends. They gave me more than I could ever ask for. The 8th grade guys were jerks and decided to start stuff. Every day I walked down the hallway and I was being called gay. They all joined in and laughed at me. I hated going to school. It was nonstop. But the girls tried to help me and they cheered me up. That didn't mean I could pretend it didn't happen because it hurt so much. And it did happen. 7th grade finally ended. Then I was in 8th grade. That year was good because the upperclassmen moved up and left me alone. I was getting happier until one day in math class the teacher was assigning seats and she told me to sit next to this kid and he yelled, "I'm not sitting next to this gay fag." I got so upset. I threw my stuff off the table and ran out the door. The teacher followed me out and talked to me in the hallway. She said everyone was on my side, and she said that I could take as long as I needed. So I went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror and sat there for 15 minutes. I walked back and stood at the door, not wanting to enter. And for the real harassment beginning at my 9th grade year, he said that he received voicemails saying he was a gay fag, calling him gay boy, saying he liked to do things to guys, and all that stuff. And he says it hurts to bring this back up, but he has to bring it up to someone. He can't just keep it bottled inside. And one of the guys he trusted became his friend, then his girlfriend. Oh, his girlfriend overheard one of his friends calling him gay, making a remark. And now he hates that because that's a horrible thing to say about someone. And he told himself that he wouldn't trust guys anymore because they're the cause of his pain. And, oh gosh, all his best girlfriends moved at the end of 8th grade, so he had no one. He tried to become friends with other girls, but it just wasn't the same. And he eventually found these 3 girls. And they stuck up for him, and they helped him, and he told them a lot, and they told him a lot. They helped a lot, but it just wasn't enough. Every day in third hour, he cried because he just broke down and he couldn't help it. He hated that class. He labeled it his breakdown class. The teacher knew things that he went through, and so he was allowed to have his hood up or his head down. He found an actual guy friend that actually talked to him for a while. He was in 11th grade. He texted. They had fun times hanging out together. And he got more private calls around 8 p.m. on some day. He answered it, but like the call was lost, and then he received a voicemail, and his personal greeting was changed, and there was a voicemail 10 minutes long of 2 or 3 guys saying how he was a faggot, calling him a effing gay fag over and over again, and sitting there saying horrible, nasty things that he said really hurt him bad. Then the personal greeting saying, "Hey, this is gay boy," not gonna say his name, "I'm a gay fag," and like DICK. And I will only call you back if you will let me. Wow. They changed his greeting when he's not able to answer his phone to that. And wow. And he said that his parents, he fell to the floor crying how bad it was. His parents had to file for harassment, and then the next morning he got another one saying the same thing, but it was trying to confuse him on who it was, because they said that he knows who it was, but he doesn't know. And he wasn't supposed to tell anyone because I guess his parents didn't want him to, so he told me. Well, he messaged me this thing. And later on, he became really good friends with that guy, and he helped him a lot. And they're hanging out, and he became a really close friend. And he says he was having suicidal thoughts, but that guy saved him because he felt horribly lost. And here's like his input. He says, "I don't get why they picked on me. I never did anything to them. I was nice to everyone. I have been told I'm a great person, and this is all a part of God's plan for me. But it still hurts. I think they bully me because they're just jealous of my life, or that I have all the girls on my side. But I think it's pathetic that they do this to me. I just can't trust anyone." And there has been tons of people that... Oh, sorry. He had to yawn. Tons of people that helped him and take his stories and his happiness comes from listening to music, writing, reading, and sometimes his family. And it's hard to gain back happiness, but it works most of all when he's listening to music or hanging out with friends he actually likes. And Kesha, he says, is his favorite singer artist because her music describes him and gets to him and helps, like, it's like his life. It's a roller coaster, he says. And he says writing is a way he lets his emotions out, but sometimes it gets him really upset. And that he likes reading The Hunger Games. Well, that's something we have in common. And he says that his family gives emotional support sometimes, but he doesn't want to tell them everything. But he has to learn to. And then he says he dated this the January 22nd, 2013. He dated this. So in the past week there was a big incident in biology, working on a worksheet, sitting at my lab table all by myself. There were these kids bullying me. They thought it would be so mature to just pick on me while the teacher was out of the room. They threw things at me, and I picked them up and I'd throw them away. And then one of the kids, like, ran over to me and started beating on me, punching me, and kicking me. Oh my. And then he pushed him away, and he sat back down in his arms. And the kid ran by and spit on him, all over him. Who does that? I mean, really, that's real mature. And his face, his arms were all red and scratched, his ankle was in pain, and he had spit all over his face and his hair. He told the teacher, but all the teacher did was talk to them, which in my opinion, that doesn't do anything. And he showed some of his friends the marks, and one of them said that they need to go up to a higher authority, so they did, after lunch. But before lunch, at lunch, he was trying to hold back the tears, blocking out everyone by listening to music. But when people ask what's wrong, that is his trigger word. And he just started bawling all inside of his Cocoa Puffs. I find that funny. And he wanted to go to the bathroom, but walking through the lunchroom with a puffy face would make things worse. So he sat back down in the opposite direction, crying. And he spotted one of his friends across a couple tables, so he sped up and walked to her. And he told her that he couldn't do anymore. And he wanted him to talk to her, but he didn't want to make a scene. So everyone at their table was asking what was wrong. And when they found out, they went to flip out on the person that beat him up. And people gave him hugs. And then the person that beat him up, trying to apologize, came over laughing and tried to apologize to him, which wasn't real, he says. In my opinion, if they were sorry, they wouldn't have done it in the first place. And then afterwards, after lunch, him and a friend went to the office and talked to the secretary. And not the secretary, a person of higher authority. I don't know. And then he says afterwards that he's not friends with the guy he was earlier, because he grew apart and became awkward, and he got a girlfriend and ditched him, which is sad. Alright, so that's his story. So my input. Well, like I said before, I hate bullying. It's just wrong. And at our school, it's bad too. It's like really bad. But you kind of just have to learn as you go along that you have your own opinion for yourself. No one else's opinion matters to you, unless they're calling you like beautiful or pretty or nice or something. But if they have a negative opinion on you, just don't take their opinion, because their opinion doesn't matter. It's what you think about yourself. Don't let others influence you that way. So, yeah, bullying is wrong. Don't do it to people. It's just horrible. Words scar people more than broken bones and injuries. Teenagers and kids commit suicide every day because of bullying. It just takes time for things to happen, for people to go in awareness. Not awareness. It's like, well, yeah, make it like a hot, not, make it a subject to talk about. It has to be like big, which bullying is big, so it should be talked about, and it should not be tolerated. Alright, so that's my opinion. Thank you guys for watching, and I will make more videos in the future. But so right now, if you want, send me your stories or anything. Message me my email. Message me on YouTube. And if you want to talk to me, I'm here. I'm all ears. I'm a great listener. And if you want me to know your story, that's fine with me. Just send it to me or something. Alright, so bye. See you guys when I make the next video.